Well, I'm at my new bench and I'm really liking it a lot, and hopefully you've seen this in the last couple of videos I did. I showed it and I talked about it in one of them. But what I'm doing here is I've got 3 pieces that I plan on turning. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do to each one, so I've got them sitting here and I can look at them when I come out, and maybe something will pop into my head how I want to do it. This one's pretty easy to figure out. This one, I'm struggling with that, so I'm not sure if it's going to be following this piece, which is a piece of black walnut, or maybe following that, which is a piece of spalted oak. So this is a really beautiful piece of black walnut, and it's got a interesting shape. I'm not going to make a live edge out of it. I think I'm going to like it better turned this way. So I'm going to get a center marked on here. Maybe I'll cut some corners off. I'll get it mounted up in the lathe and we will start turning on it. I have it all mounted up on a worm screw. I've got the live center up against it for support. It's almost 10 inches across this way, and it's about 7.5 deep. The shape I have in mind is pretty much following that bark line, although this side is not quite the same, but it's fairly close. So we're doing about 570 RPM. I'm going to start with a 5/8 bowl gouge. Back down here. Kind of wondering if I can get this to stay on. Maybe cut some more off of that. Maybe I should slip some CA glue in here, although it's nice and tight there, but I'm turning here so it's pulling it loose. I think I will. I'm going to put some thin CA down in here, and I'm going to see if I can't maybe just keep that bark, but I just have no guarantees that it's going to work. I just put some of the thin Starbond along this edge of that bark, and I didn't put any here because it's cutting good, because I'm not going under it, I'm going across it so it cuts good. Resharpen my 5/8 bowl gouge, and I'd like to go ahead and take more off of this to get it to look more like up above. That's nice and smooth and it's not jagged looking. So let's see if we can make a nice cut and get it looking like that, and I think we just about have the shape. Got 670 RPM now. have that end flat, so that's about as smooth as you can cut. So I think I'll go ahead and flatten that now. So I'm going to try a brand new tool. This is a parting tool Badon, and viewer Amy sent a Amazon gift card for getting a parting tool, and this is sort of a parting tool and a Badon, and I think it might work really good for flattening that end off. And it does. Well, thank you very much, Amy. I'm going to love this tool. I'm going to go ahead and cut up this way a little bit so I can get a wider base that has all wood on it, and then I'll have to make a tenon and get a new hole on the end of that. I think I'm going to use the bigger jaws on this because it's pretty good mass. Alright, that should be good. And I think that's it for the day, and have to get on it later tomorrow morning. I got a PT visit first thing in the morning. Well, I'm back on this piece and I'm actually ready to sand it, and I think I'll just sand it with 80 grit. And the reason is this bark looks pretty cool, but when it comes over here it drops down quite a ways. That might interfere with the thickness of the wall. I just would have to leave it really thick to keep that. I just may taper this more, but I want to look at it from the other direction. So we'll go ahead and sand it with some 80 grit, then I'll get it flipped around. I'm going to use a 2-inch disc on that with the lathe running in reverse at about 350 RPM. It's all flipped around now and you can see how far that bark goes, and I want to clean this up, have a look at it. I just might be taking a little bit more off right here. Got my 1/2-inch bowl gouge, and we're just going to clean that end up and have a good look at it and see what kind of changes we should make. That's about all I can reach. So we're going to move the tailstock out of the way, and then we'll get to getting. Ah, there is a knot right there. I thought so. So I'm going to use this hollowing tool here just because I'm going on a back angle, and this will be easier than reaching clear across here with my gouge. Yeah, I'm going to keep using the carbide hollowing tool until I get past that knot, if I can get past it. Well, we're getting there. Still have that knot. And I still have those colors in here. It's very reflective. Alright, I'll do the same thing. I'm going to go deeper here, then come and clean it up. Alright, I want you to see this grain just in case it gets cut away. I sure hope it doesn't. You know, if I thought it did, I would shorten the thing just to keep it, but I'm just going to go ahead and keep cutting. Got it all sanded up to 400 now, and I've also sanded the inside. I didn't show that because I think I was in the way most of the time, and I'm going to go ahead and put a finish on this. I'm going to start with some shellac based sanding sealer, and more than likely we'll put shellac on it, which will look just like this. So now we get to see what it looks like. Yeah, it's very dark. This is what I want to see right here. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Okay, I'll get the rest of this on. Yeah, I think that's a good choice. It really makes a nice contrast. Alright, so everything will look just like that as I put it on. So I'm going to get all the finish on. I'll come back and we'll have a good look at it, and I guess we got a tenon to take off as well. So I changed my mind on the final finish, and I think it turned out really nice, and I want to wait to show you that at the very end. And that tenon did break off. In a couple seconds I'll show you if it survived. Okay, it is all done, and I am really happy with the finish on it. I think it's one of my nicer finishes, and I did say I would probably be using shellac. I made a change once I put the shellac-based sanding sealer on it. I started looking at the wood, and I thought if I use a wipe-on poly, it might be just what I'm looking for today. And it was. Look at the contrast. Look at the grain in the heartwood. Look at this. I just think this is beautiful, and it's just like a piece of glass. And then this little treat right here, that's the bark, and it's just on there. You wouldn't even know that that's bark. It's just as smooth as can be. Really, really happy with this one. There's the inside, and that's got some great grain in it and contrast. Just beautiful. And there's that grain. You can see it quite well on that base. Finished almost 8 inches in diameter, 5 3/4 tall, and the walls are about 5/16. You could probably tell it wasn't totally dry, but walnut cuts nice anyways. It was about 18% when I measured it, and I've had good success turning this walnut at 18%. And yes, it did move a little bit by the time I sanded it, but I was still able to do a really nice job on sanding. It didn't affect it at all. I forgot to mention, I did use Acks abrasive paste and polish on it. So I am really, really happy with this one, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, do me a favor, click that like button and feel free to leave a comment. Both of those things will really help my channel grow. I do lots of different types of turnings, and you never know what might be next, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And a special thanks to all my current subscribers. You really mean a lot to me. So, till the next time, see you later.